I hope not addicted, but I hope Breezy. I hope you're ready to accept my fails, and I hope you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
You ready to go? You're always ready to go. That's good. That's what's good about you, man. Let's get this going. Let's get it rocking and rolling here. Void Rift, guys. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, everybody. Welcome and thanks for coming to IMBAtv, where everything is in balance. And I may want to start drinking here because I keep on just screwing things up left and right, huh? Anyways, we've got Ruff down here in the bottom left-hand corner as the red Terran. Up here in the top right, we do have VT Boke Bunny as the green Terran as well. And you know what? I actually messed up really big there. It's actually supposed to be Fire, Silver, and Addicted on this one. So I hope you guys are ready and you guys can continue. You want to keep going?
Yeah, sure, if Addicted is synced in time. I
believe
not.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Here. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get going, guys. Sorry.
This map reminds me of Typhon Peaks mixed with the 2v2 map, which I cannot remember, but again, has the same kind of style. I love the charred remains of this map. It looks as if Ruff is going to go with the wall off once again. Boke Bunny going to go with the Sim City approach to this. And we saw this last game, and we always saw Ruff go into this heavy tech path, whereas Boke Bunny kind of went with a very, very standard meta game Marine tank. And it seems as if I have a very, very back and forward game. Boke Bunny was able to exploit that advantage finally, but Ruff had some really nice play up his sleeve with that. So interesting to see if he does try and do that again, similar to Iocoic style TVT that was all the rage a couple of months back. But this map's quite long, and definitely with Banshees and Hellions, very, very fast units, are going to be super effective on this map. They may not have been on the last one due to the choke points, but this map is just huge. The Xel'Naga is very, very spread out now. And, you know, if you've got the faster, more mobile army, you can easily take them and maintain map control and great map vision. But Boke Bunny opening up now with the 12 racks, 13 gas, and Ruff doing exactly the same. Both players now getting their orbital commands, and it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of styles of play these players will go for this game.
That's right. So far, a mirrored opening, and we see Ruff there scouting the area, trying to find where Boke Bunny is. He isn't going to find them from the first time, but he will find them from the second time, as we see where Boke Bunny's base is. And I have to say, man, last game it was pretty crazy. We don't see many Terran versus Terran games that end up like that. I think Ruff's demise ended up being all that Banshee. He used so many Banshees that game. He decided to just keep going with the Banshees, and in the end, they just couldn't keep up with the army that Boke Bunny had, and that's why he probably lost. So we see that Ruff still hasn't found where Boke Bunny is. He decided to go to that. He decided to go to that Xel'Naga and then building in a command center where the gold is. What a bold decision here by Ruff.
I'm gonna cut in because this means I'm gonna take a shot right here. Cheers, everybody out there! Hell yeah!
There's the gold standard. Time of the day when his mood goes from low to high, everyone starts the party, and then his house goes wild. We love this time. The gold standard indeed. And it seems as if Boke Bunny is just building all of his buildings right next to each other. Not going to let any sort of Hellion slip in there if he does decide to go for it, but I'm really interested to see if Ruff's going to be able to pull this off. He has gone double Reaper opening. At least that is going to secure him some aggression to secure that expansion. But Boke Bunny now with the Hellion out could cause some problems here. Ruff is scouting about here, but has not actually scouted the base of Boke Bunny. Instead scouted both the other positions first. Very, very odd. Oh, and will this Hellion find the gold standard? It looks like it is going to the wrong main base, trying to find out where Ruff is. No.
Oh man, this is going to be so close if he doesn't find them. I mean, wow, Ruff went for that gold base, very risky there, and the Hellion is just going to go past it. He will see it. He saw the SSV mining there, and the base has been spotted. And at the same time, Ruff is harassing the mineral line of Boke Bunny with Reapers. 2 Reapers out on the field trying to snipe some kills. 1 Reaper goes down, the other Reaper goes down, and I believe I only saw 1 Reaper there getting 4 kills, but that's still quite a lot. And right now, Boke Bunny needs to do something, against that gold standard, because Ruff will get a very advantageous position in terms of economy very fast with that gold base up and running.
Yeah, especially if you are going with Marines that it just costs 50 minerals. That gold is going to give you a lot more barracks to add on, and you can equally support it. But just so many mules being dropped to this gold expansion, as we see Poke Bunny coming across the map now. And Ruff does have this Marauder, which is going to help him a little bit, but still, 5 Marines stim nearly completed up for Ruff. Maybe that's what he will need to defend this, but that tank is going to prove a challenge. Will he have to pull SCVs to deal with this? It looks like he is going to try and pull them out now, and it looks like he will have enough units to at least try and take on these with the SCVs mixed in. Here he goes down, SCVs following in now, wants to get rid of that tank, doing that huge damage, but still, both players streaming in reinforcements here, and you know, if it wasn't this event, I would call for the Benny Hill music, but Ruff might actually lose that expansion, and that is going to be huge this early into the game, losing all those 400 minerals. He's going to try and lift off that and run it away, but Marine Scoot and Shoot is oh so brutal.
Also, more tanks coming in from Poke Bunny, so that will help so much because they do so much damage, like you said. And Ruff is desperately trying to defend the expansion, and it's actually working out pretty well for him because that Marauder does so much damage against armor units, and both tanks that were there will fall, as well as we see 2 Marines there falling back. They're both dead, and 2 other Marines reinforcing are dead. But Poke Bunny has a Banshee, unlike Ruff, who last time had the Banshee. This time it's Poke Bunny on the Banshee assault.
Yeah, and you know, with Marines streaming in again, and just nothing really that can do that much anti-air damage without being horribly over-investing. Like, as soon as he's 6 Marines coming in to deal with this, he doesn't have Cloak though, he's just gonna, he lost it. So that missile turret will not actually be useful, as we see no Cloak being researched for Poke Bunny right now, but it's allowing him to get his expansion up and running. Even though Poke Bunny does have this tank advantage, they just don't do well enough without that siege tech, and he's not actually getting siege tech at the moment, but just more and more Marines pumping out for Ruff now. But he's stimming quite a lot, and they are in the orange and red.
Yeah, man, I mean, it looks like every battle so far will just be around that gold base, because that's pretty much the beacon of hope for Ruff, trying to pump out his economy, as we see these Marines from Ruff trying to take out of position the Marines and tank composition of Poke Bunny. All these Marines fall back for Poke Bunny. He loses them even though he has a heal bus out there, and that tank will be able to defend. Oh yes, he did. He managed to take down the last Marine, and then it was picked up by that Medivac, who will take him home.
Yeah, man, and it's just a hero tank, man, hero tank. And he's going to be able to get that repaired up nice at his base. But that expansion did manage to get up and running, but still, he did not manage to deny that gold expansion. You know, having a base there kind of secures himself this natural expansion, because there's not much that Poke Bunny can do without going through that gold expansion. He does have this other route, but still, it's quite a nice plane to defend here. It does have the Zelnaga, so he can siege up tanks and have vision of this high ground if he chooses to. But a nice money scan going down there. All those tanks are back to full HP now, and Poke Bunny will have the medevacs out now to help and do some sort of drop play. But Ruff is taking his third base now, which is his natural, and trying to be aggressive to secure that. But I mean, with 3 tanks there that just unsieged, could this end up being very, very bad for Poke Bunny? It looks like no, he will siege in time. Will these Marines get horribly punished? And it looks like it will. And Poke Bunny just doing an amazing defense here, but he's going to have to do some damage to stop Ruff going on to get that third base and getting majorly ahead with that economy.
You know what? If economy-wise, Ruff is doing a great job with free base now that he's on. That third base on his natural expansion is going up. But if we look at the tech advantage, Poke Bunny has a tech advantage because he has tanks on the field, medivacs. And if we look at the base of Ruff, all he has is 5 racks, and he's just pumping out more bio. But you know, it will definitely prove to be very hard to defend against the mech play.
And ouch, that Marine standing at the Zelnaga did just get a tank shell to the face. And Ruff is going to have to lift off now. He cannot risk engaging those tanks straight on. So he will have to try and find a way to get around that. But could Ruff be going for the counter attack here, or just trying to catch him out of position as he is moving around the back? He will see this one tank coming out that is trying to siege at the Zelnaga, but it's going to get taken out extremely fast. And will Poke Bunny continue with this offensive like we saw in the previous games, or pull back? He has nothing at his base. The scan goes down by Ruff and does see this, but Poke Bunny looks like he's just sitting in the center right now. as he is trying to mobilize his forces. Poke Bunny moving everything out of his natural here, but scoot and shoot Marines ever so brutal, trying to take down that orbital command, and Ruff isn't going to go for it. He knows the possibility of tanks being on that hill, and Poke Bunny going to pull back, it seems, right back up onto this high ground and sieging once again.
That's right. I mean, Poke Bunny there denying the gold expansion there for Ruff, but Ruff landed it next to that normal expansion, and you know, he's mining from it again. And very nice attack there by Ruff, denying the natural expansion of Poke Bunny. And now those Marines and Marauders trying to take down the Marines, and SCVs are being pulled away to help and kite the forces of Ruff into those siege tanks. And it looks like, oh man, it looks like Poke Bunny will just make a very nice defense here, taking out all of the Marine Marauder ball there from Ruff with those incoming Marines that came to the head of those siege tanks. And again, more Marine Marauder from Ruff pumping out and running for the middle of the map right now.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't understand why Ruff hates tanks. Maybe he has some special hatred for them, but he just refuses to build them. And with 6 tanks on the field, they pretty much demolish any sort of ground force that isn't an Ultralisk. Poke Bunny moving in these first, though, this could be very, very bad. Oh, he's just going to give him the 3 tanks. A very, very bad move there by Poke Bunny, and he is trying to move in. Could this cost him the middle of the map now? But it looks like he will come ahead, as Pure Marine does beat Marine Marauder in TVT and still has these 2 tanks, but instead going to play it defensive and get his own 3rd base. But Ruff actually did move that gold base up here to this natural blue 3rd expansion, and he's mining there now, so not going to let that expansion go to waste. But, you know, still on Marine Marauder, and eventually that's going to hit him when the amount of tanks that comes out of Poke Bunny reaches that critical mass, and 4 is still not critical mass, but definitely a force to be reckoned with, and with the right positioning, Ruff is pretty much going to be helpless.
That's right, man. I mean, come on. 9 racks are now up for Ruff. I mean, he just likes that bio so much. He's just constantly making it, while Poke Bunny is on the take advantage here with those siege tanks sieging very nicely on that ramp there, trying to push back the forces of Ruff, trying to take over that natural expansion. And there's so many tanks. I think Ruff might get overwhelmed here, man. I mean, Poke Bunny has, what, like 4 siege tanks helping those pure Marines.
Yeah, and he's trying to micro both ends of the fire once. They are both players again going into each other's base. So Ruff just saying he'll avoid the tanks entirely rather than fight them head on. And I don't see how this could work out for Poke Bunny. Actually, he is really, really slow at engaging these, because he has to be with these siege tanks. Doesn't want to move in too far and lose them. There he is going to send it in. Poke Bunny behind his supply, though, as this Marine Marauder just decimates the remaining base for Poke Bunny. So we're kind of seeing a base trade go on here, but the base trade is going to go in Ruff's favor because he does have that 3rd base over in the far expansion.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Ruff has been mining that for such a long time now, and if we look at his resources, they're quite high, and that just shows you. And Ruff doing a very good job at taking away Poke Bunny's main base. I mean, he's just destroying the barracks there from Poke Bunny, and Ruff is doing such a good job. But on the other hand, if we look at Poke Bunny doing the offense as well in Ruff's base, but Ruff doing a very good job with that Marine Marauder, taking out all of these siege tanks. All of the siege tanks fall down, but there are still Marines being healed by 3 medivacs, and that is a lot of medivacs to be healing so many Marines. And Poke Bunny, GG's.
That's right, with the GG going down there. We see that Ruff is going to go ahead and take this win, tie it up. It is 1-1 right now. We're going to be getting into the next game here in just a minute. This is the map of the month. It is a lot of fun, and I am so glad to see this one go into a 3rd freaking game. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome stuff. Awesome, to say the least. And I'll tell you, that early expand to that high yield was so risky. But I think he worked it out for his best interest. I think it worked out very well for him in the end. Just because he was able to react by moving it back to the other expansion area and start harvesting minerals off of that, and keeping his economy very well, and able to take his engagement kind of wisely. He moved all his Marines and Marauders back, lifted off his orbital in his natural, sent it off, and he was like, you know what? Charge this choke. Get up in this choke. I'm going to stim. I'm going to take down all your tanks, all your Marines, and all your Marauders.